properties of quadrilaterals. All right, so in this one, we just, for each of the following quadrilaterals, select all properties that must be true. So there's this nice graphic down below, and I went ahead and stole it over here just because it would be a little hard for me to fit on this sheet neatly. You should definitely be writing down the notes for this one. Oh, darn it. So make sure you're writing down notes for each one of these topics, and keep the notes going so that you can just add to them next time instead of having to rewrite everything each time. Now, rewriting it is actually not a bad idea. Helps you remember it more. The more you write it down, the more you'll use it and remember it. But if you keep your notes, then you don't have to necessarily write it down each and every time. So the reason I did this nice little notes page is because it gives us some of the basic properties. So a trapezoid, we have one pair of parallel sides. So in this case, it's the top and the bottom, but we don't have the left and the right side being parallel. So we can kind of obviously see those are not parallel. So we call that a trapezoid. Parallelogram, we have two pairs of parallel sides. So the top and the bottom are parallel, and the left and the right are parallel. So that's the basic definition of parallelogram. Then we have some special parallelograms. So we have one called a rectangle. I hope everybody knows what a rectangle is. So we still have two pairs of opposite sides congruent, but we also have 4 right angles. So that's what makes it a rectangle. You have to have those 4 right angles. And then we have a rhombus, which we still have 2 pairs of parallel sides, so left and right, top and bottom, they're still parallel, but all the sides are also congruent. So that's how we make a rhombus. Now, if we combine rectangle and rhombus, so we have opposite sides parallel, and 4 right angles, and all sides congruent. So we have all 3 of these things. It makes a square. So a square is a special rectangle. And all 3 of these are special parallelograms that have names. So remember, all 3 of these are rectangles. All 3 of these are parallelograms, but we can just go down the list here. So a rectangle and a rhombus is kind of the first level of special parallelogram, and then we can drop that down into a second level of special parallelogram, which is a square. All right, so now that we've done all that, and I clicked on a word there, so it opened up. So anywhere we see the blue words, you can also click on it, and it will give you more definitions for each one. So if we go down, and I'm just going to scroll down here so you can see. So they said, click all that must be true. So if it's a parallelogram, we just want to click what has to be true. So all sides congruent, doesn't have to be. That means that it's a special one. It's one of these 2. All 4 right angles. So again, that's one of these 2 special ones, but it's not required of all parallelograms. 2 pairs of parallel sides. So if it says parallelogram, that is required. Or if it's a rectangle, rhombus, square, any of these words, you have to have 2 pairs of parallel sides. 1 pair of parallel sides, the only one that meets that is trapezoid. So then trapezoid, that was the only one that met for trapezoid. So we go all the way to the end and we check it. And then rectangle, so we do have 4 right angles, 2 pairs of parallel sides. So anytime we hear any of these 4 words, we're going to click the 2 pairs of parallel sides. All right, so let's go ahead and start this one. And not click it. Oh, there we go. All right. So I'm going to scooch this over a little bit just so that I can see the whole graph here. Make this one a little smaller. We still see it. It ends up scrunching it just a little bit here. I can close this one so we can still see most of it there. All right. So rectangle. So a rectangle, we just want these 2 bits of information. 2 pairs of parallel sides, 4 right angles. So 4 right angles, 2 pairs of parallel sides. Rhombus. So I want 2 pairs of parallel sides and all sides congruent. So 2 pairs of parallel sides again, and now I want all sides congruent. And then the bottom one, parallelogram. So 2 pairs of parallel sides, that's the only thing I want to check on that one, because that's the only thing required. So that little sentence below is what's required for that thing, or for that special quadrilateral. Okay, next. So trapezoid, the only thing that it says required on this one is only one pair of parallel sides. So we're going to go all the way over here to only 1 pair and click check. Rectangle, we have all four right angles. So that was the second bullet. And the first bullet is two pairs of parallel sides. I'm going to come over here and click check right under that. And then parallelogram, remember, the only thing under that one is two pair of parallel sides. Check. The last one here. So we have a rhombus, which is over here. So they've brought up rhombus. So two pairs of parallel sides and all sides congruent. So two pairs of parallel sides and all sides congruent. Parallelogram, remember the only thing under that one is two pair of parallel sides. And then a square, we have all sides congruent, two pair of parallel sides, and four right angles, because there's 3 bullet points here, which tells me I'm going to do 3 check marks. So if you don't have these notes written down, you might forget exactly what you're supposed to be checking. Some of it sounds basic, but once you move to the next screen and you don't have this available to click on, it's not as nice. Now you can click on these, and it'll open up. It'll give you the definition, but it's not necessarily going to give it to you in this nice little bullet point map that they gave you on that first page. All right, check, and we're done.